Hey everybody, welcome back. I am continuing to throw mugs this evening. We took a quick supper break. And cat snuggling break. Let's not forget the all-important cat snuggling break. So I think I see them back there tearing everything up. What do I do with my sponge? There we go. So again, welcome back everybody. I am making mugs again because I have hundreds of mugs to make to fill orders. And right now I'm making my 20-ounce mugs. So what I do when I'm making mugs, or pretty much anything, because most of the things I make are fairly small, I throw on these tiles. These are 6-inch plain old floor tiles like you would get at a home improvement store. And I have a bat here that I've cut a hole in the bat to fit these tiles in so that when I'm making things and moving them around, I don't have to use the great big old huge bat. And this lets me, moving things around on a tile, lets me not worry about warping the piece as I move it around, because some people will throw a thicker base and then pick the piece up and move it around. I'm throwing these super thin, so if I tried to pick them up, they would just collapse, because using a very soft clay, it's a porcelain clay body. And throwing them thin, so they would just not last if you tried to move them. What's up? Oh no! Can't even blame a cat on that one.
It's all my fault.
Oh, come on. I was hoping I could fix it.
Not gonna be a good throwing knife.
I don't know.
Why do you always have a piece fall in your mouth?
Uh-oh, Kitten's got into the packing peanuts. So sometimes it may just be better to squish it and go on, but I like to play with it a little bit. See if I can save it. Because sometimes you never know. So let's see how horrendous this looks. Let's see. The rim on that one is not bad, and what I'm going to do, instead of trying to trim this off right now, I'm going to wait until it dries and then kind of level it off with some sandpaper. So I'm going to call this one a keeper. What's the matter, matey? So I've got these 1 pound pieces of clay. Oh, kitten crash. See, you thought this stream was about pottery, but it's 50% cats and kittens running around like crazy. Got it centered, I got it opened up, and then do the first pull. And we'll do maybe 3 pulls all together. Here's the second one where I messed it up last time, so I'm going to slow down a little bit. There we go. That's what I wanted it to do. Moonreaper, hey! Welcome back. Cat streams, always the cat streams. There we go. The third pull stretches it out a little bit. Hello. Whoa. They've been like running around my feet and around the wheel here when they're not bouncing off all the other walls in the studio. See, when I come in the morning, I give them a fancy feast. Like I split one up for them. So they've got it in their mind that every time I enter the building, I give them a fancy feast. Because that's how cat logic works, right? So I can be gone for an hour, I can be gone for 10 hours overnight, and they still expect the same thing. So they got all excited, and I had to let them down. They see me and think, food! Yep. Oh, the box. Okay, that's what they're playing with. The box that I had moved out of my way that now is back in the floor. Oh, they're coming to get me. No, they went the other way. So here we go, more mugs. I've got at least 50 more mugs here I could make. I don't know if I'll get all of them done tonight, but I will certainly try. We are on number 4. There we go. You have ever tried drinking and throwing at the same time? How wobbly would the pieces get? I don't know. I've never tried that because I don't drink, so that's that would be an experience. But I would probably, like, from what I've heard of people like drinking and while trying to do things like while trying to paint or draw or something, it's I would probably think that it was the greatest thing I'd ever made until the next morning when I come in and look at this dumpy lump. Hey, Knitter Girl. Yeah, welcome back. Oh, you don't have to apologize. Hope you got everything done that you needed to. You said you had some adulting to do. Let's see, this one's getting a tad bit wobbly. Let's see how tall it is. It's always a good idea to measure these before I stretch them out, and I always forget. So is anybody else here a fan of Deborah Harkness's books? The All Souls trilogy? Yes, I did finally. It does. Yeah, so me and Hamster have both read the books, and oh, you got rain, thunder, and lightning. Cool. The rain has gone all around us. It's not actually hit us, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. No, I finally saw the trailer, which is what Daniel had asked me, for the TV show that they're coming out with about it. And I think it looks really good. And I was telling him, like, the All Souls trilogy, I love the books, but I'm not so emotionally attached to them that if the TV show was different, I think I would enjoy the TV show if it was a little different. Like, I'm not so, like, I can't think of, like, enough certain scenes that have to be there for me to be happy. So I think I would actually enjoy watching it instead of sitting there thinking, oh man, I wish it was like it was in the book. But if you haven't read it or heard of it, the All Souls trilogy, it is basically it is time travel and with vampires and witches and demons. Like an alternate reality where vampires, witches, and demons are amongst us. With time travel thrown in. But the audiobooks are very well done. That's what I've been listening to. I have them on Audible. Oh, are they? Yeah, you can see them. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's all three of them. That's great. Well, you know, I'll shut up. I'll quit interrupting the cat stream. It's like perfectly in frame too. Did y'all see that we had a breakthrough today? Like, I caught Kiba grooming one of the kittens. Not for very long, but just a few licks on the head, and then he ran away. Or the kitten ran away. But that's a big, big difference between just hissing at the sight of them. It was actually on stream too, because Kiba was up here on the wheel before I got started, and one of the kittens jumped up in my lap and was going to walk by him, and Kiba started licking his ear. So they're starting to accept one another. But Kiba also has a great big scratch all the way down his nose too, so kind of wondering who got him. Knitter Girl, you saw that? Yes, it was right as I was getting started. Colleen, oh, you think one of, yeah, I think one of the kittens got Kiba. It could have been Minnie. It could have been Minnie. There's only 3 choices. Oh, Knitter Girl, you're glad to be home. Good, yeah. You've been traveling all day? Straw Hattery, hey. Said you were wondering what Minnie was doing, then you saw the kitten come out of the box. Yes. Oh, you went downtown today to get your bus pass and banking. This one feels a little bit wobbly, so I'm taking my time with it. We'll measure it to see how tall it's getting. Because sometimes when things get wonky, it's hard to pull them up. Like if it's got a little bit of a wobble or a wrinkle in it, a weak spot, it's hard to make it taller. Still a little bit wonky. There we go. Where did the other two go? Because she's crying for them. Do you hear her? They go off to play somewhere else. Does she still supervise them? Yes, she does occasionally. She'll go around and look for them. And they'll look for her. Like she'll go around, she'll start caterwauling for them, and they'll come and she'll make sure they're okay, and then go about her business. I don't remember if I measured this one or not. That's good. With my super duper handy dandy high-tech measuring stick. Well, we got 10 so far. 10, not bad. It's amazing how much faster I make these without a cat in my lap, big or small. What was that, Moon Reaper? Whatever it was got deleted. Oh, you clipped Kiba licking the kitten off. Yeah, thank you, Colleen. Yeah, Karen's like, he looked like he didn't realize what he was doing for the first lick or two, then he figured it out, yeah. It's like, wait, I don't like you. I'm not supposed to do this. Then afterwards, all you see in the camera, in the main cam, is this like little paw coming out of nowhere to attack his tail. Yeah, even the kitten looks surprised, yeah. I'll have to go back and see it from that angle. Oh yeah, the kitten got out before Kiba changed his mind, yeah. Before he could start chomping. They might become one happy family yet. Because that was always the reason we had Kiba here at the studio, was because he does not like other cats. He got, because when he first adopted us, we brought him inside, and he was just always fighting and trying to mark things because of the other cats we had, so he became the garage cat and studio cat, and then we moved him here with the studio, where he reached his superstar status. He's getting mellow in his old age, yeah. Daniel said he knows the kittens are his ticket to Fancy Feast in the morning. Little girl, thank you for the Kiba cheers. There they are. Oh no, they both bounced off his head. Zushi, hello, good evening. Is everybody else able to see all the emotes? Because I'm only seeing part of the emotes. I'm just seeing little X's. What do you guys think about the Pretzel Rocks bot? Do you like knowing what every song is, being told what every song is, or does it get on your nerves? I'm just curious. It was a new thing we were trying. It's an app Smith Clay told us about. It's a royalty-free music that you can use while streaming. So what it is good for, so like when you go back to watch the video again, or watch a stream that you missed, there won't be all the huge blocks where there's no sound because of a copyrighted music. Hey, buddy. Come on. I thought he was gonna jump. I'd rather be prepared for an attack than have it unexpected. There he is. Hey, buddy. You like it over the scrolling thing I used to have on the screen? Okay. Minnie's looking for you guys. No, I'm not going to spin them around while it's wet. There you go. Where in the world is she? Oh. Come here. And see, you did it again. You got clay all over you. Minnie. Minnie. Yeah, she was in the back. I don't know what she's doing. Kitten on the wheel. Yeah, I'm not about to spin them around just yet. Hey, Tasha. Oh, Pie. Nightwing is your favorite, but you love Tux's little innocent face. Innocent. I don't think Tux has ever been innocent. Stampede. Kitten stampede. Yay, kitty quake. Did I make all those mugs in the last hour? Well, the ones that are uncovered, yes. I'm on number 12. I'm on number 20, actually. That's pretty good if I've made 20 mugs in an hour. Is that right? Yeah, the ones that are covered up are the ones that I made earlier today. So, Colleen, when I stockpile, do I just bisque fire and leave them till they need to be glazed? Yes, that's exactly what I do. And honestly, for the majority of my career, I've not had a lot of time to stockpile, so it tends to be kind of everything I make, I just get it out as fast as I can. But yes, when I can, I just leave things back there until they need to be glazed when I make extras. Because what I tend to do is when I'll get out all my orders, I'll make everything for those, and then make 1 or 2 extras of everything that I have on order. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room if something, if some of the pieces don't turn out right, then I've got extra. I don't have to start over from scratch. And then if I do have the extra, then that lets me build up an inventory for my retail shows. And that's what I started doing this morning as far as, well, started trying to build up a stockpile of other things. When I started out throwing earlier today, I started making some nesting bowls. So I'd said every time I sit down to throw something, I'm going to start with something besides just the mugs or bowls, besides just what I need that's on order. That way, when I do my retail arts and craft shows that aren't necessarily about yarn, then I'll have a good inventory of my bakeware and my other items. There's 20. Again, it's amazing how much I can get done without cats in my lap. Whoa, hi. What happens when I can't keep up with demand anymore? Hire an apprentice? I would love to. So we put up, like, it's almost dark now, but we put up curtains in front of me because I'm sitting in front of my my front window and my front door, so people can see what I'm doing, you know, while I'm working. But during the day when it's sunny, the sun shines in directly and it blinds me and it, you know, washes everything out. So we put up curtains up here, just cheap blackout curtains, so that the sun doesn't bother me during the day when I'm up here. And the little black kitten, I just looked up and he was halfway up the curtains, and then he jumped down. It's like, this is not going to be a good thing. I'm glad we bought cheap curtains. Coog, hey! Good evening, and thank you for the cheers. Hello. Like, I'm really glad I'm wearing an apron and have a towel on my lap because they've just gotten used to taking these flying leaps to jump on me. Tux is getting big. Yeah, they're both getting big. Thought the other one was going to come up here. There we go. Here he is. Little Nightwing. Lots of pot here, yes. I am the local pot dealer. We have 21. I can do 3 more before I have to move my cart. Okay. No, they're too hyper to cuddle right now. Oh, Coog said your little kitten is finally a cat you think, a big belly, and he outgrew your middle child cat. Hey, Urza. Urza, I hadn't seen you in a while. I hope all is well. Does Kiba allow co-petition? He didn't have much of a choice. So there's actually 2 kittens and a mama cat now staying at the studio. Back in February, we took in a stray cat that was outside behind the studio, and of course she turned out to be pregnant. So she is the gray and white cat you'll see running around here sometime. She had 3 kittens, and we found homes for one of them, but the other 2 brothers are going to stay here for a while, I think. Unless anybody wants to come get them. Thinking about it. Am I going to get attacked? There we go. So we have a solid black, and then we have the Tux here. More cats, yeah. Oh, you've been sleeping weird for a while now. Gotcha. And my streaming schedule is pretty erratic. It really did. No. Mm-mm. I saw that on camera. I didn't see it over here. I saw it on camera. There we go. To get that out of leaping range. So we call him Tux because we're original, you know. And then the solid black one we've been calling Nightwing. And at first, Kiba wanted nothing to do with anybody, but the kittens are 12 weeks old now, so he's starting to come around. He's not hissing at them anymore every time he walks by them. Have we come to the shop to find any huge kitten messes? No, not really. Like, they've not gotten on the shelves and knocked things off. I mean, I know they've gotten on the shelves, but they've not knocked things off. The worst thing is, like, I've had to stop putting things on my bottom shelf on my wire racks because they're going to run around and play with them. And yeah, the worst thing they've done is they've squished a lot of pieces, but because when I cover things up, I cover them in plastic, and they want to play with the plastic. So they'll try to pull on the plastic with, while it's covering everything up, and they'll squish things, or they'll try to jump up and play with it or run from each other. Yes, they haven't actually broken anything finished, but they've squished several in-process pieces. But, so has Kiba. They just got to learn, where they can go and where they can't. Tux has had several baths already. Like, I have come in to find, like, I've had some water buckets on the floor or even on a table filled with water, and I'll come in the morning to find, like, water everywhere on the outside of the bucket and little paw prints, walking away. And it's for you, hey! Good evening, you have one of the kitty yarn bowls, and you're wondering if the cat was based off one of the kittens. It might have been. Which one do you have? Because the main one I have is a tuxedo cat. But I will say, until Tux, he's only 12 weeks old, until Tux, I've never actually had a tuxedo cat. But the rest of them are based on, they're based on some of the ones we have. So the black and white one is Kiba. Oh, the noise that the dog whisperer uses on cats. It makes the cat stop what she's doing and pay attention. And then they know that you don't want them to do what they're doing. I'll try that. I think that's like, just breaking their concentration and getting them to stop. Yeah. It's a white nose, paws, and black body. Yes, that's one of the tuxedo ones. That one, until we've got Tux, that one was just what I thought was a cute cat. But if you'd gotten one from one of our retail shows that we go to, that one I sell wholesale. So I don't know if you got it from me or if you got it from somebody else. But the retail shows I go to, I usually bring several different varieties of cats. Like, I'll do a Siamese and a calico and Kiba, black and white one. And what else? A gray tuxedo, which I have had a gray tuxedo before. Oh, it was from one of your local shops. Nice. Oh, Tasha, you definitely want to get a double yarn bowl made in the style of your two cats. Ooh. And have the two cats have their tails twining together to make the handle. Urza, you're out of here. Yeah, have a good night. And I will definitely give Kiba a pet from you. Yeah, Tasha, yeah, that sounds cool, but they would never do that in real life, yeah. Knitter Girl, you have a tabby and a Maine Coon. Ooh. And this for you has awesome Maine Coons. Huge fluffy cats. Well, Borrowed Up, thank you so much for the resub. Borrowed Up is subbed for 2 months in a row using Twitch Prime. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime sub here on our channel. Oh, Nitz, you have your Maine Coon Vorian is currently trying to convince you that you shouldn't make dinner, just pet him. That's right. Your food is not important, human, unless you give it to me. Oh yeah, Wildane, you asked your vet what kind of cat your kitten is. Your kitten nabber is. He just said a cat. Yeah. The generic domestic short hair. All right, now I need to swap out my cart, so I will be right back. Oh dear. And there they go. Come here, Tugs. Oh. Oh. Why? Why now? You haven't jumped on this thing all day long. This is not a toy. Well, they took out about 3 or 4 mugs. Gonna let him get settled. There you go. Rather than getting scratched more by trying to rip him off my back. They took out about 2 or 3 mugs and the large 4-pound bowl that I made. No. So now what I can do on something like this one, maybe I can save it because it was knocked over, but the rim is starting to dry. So I can hang it upside down until it sets. All right. Boys are brats, human or animals, yeah. Yeah, adorable and sweet, but enormous troublemakers, yes. Now, because it's just the rim of this one, I'm going to play with it for a bit and see if it'll hold its shape. I'm not sure. Because the rim, it started to dry a little bit. Kind of. So again, maybe putting it upside down might help a bit. If I've got the grip strength for this, that is. See which side was it. So we'll see if this warps any. Might as well not squish it just yet. Any more than it's already been squished. I'm gonna go around and see how uneven it is. Actually, that's not the rim that was damaged, it was this one, so this needs to go down a bit. So I actually just made this one earlier today. There we go. There we go, not too bad. They hadn't bothered anything until I moved the cart. And I don't know what spawned that. Why they decided to play with the plastic then. We need a catapult. Ooh, yes, we do. After what they did this time. Hey, Vampire Ice Queen. And Luna. Good evening. I'm throwing some more mugs. I was able to, the two that I thought were really bad, I think I can save. Oops. This one didn't have anything to clean off. Yeah, that must be what they were thinking. If it moves, I must pounce on it. That's how they treat each other. Everything is their own personal jungle gym. Yeah, I hope the bowl is salvageable. I'm thinking if it holds its shape, it should be good. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it, but there you go. Here, play with that. Play with the box. Play with anything but the breakable pottery. You know, I probably jinxed myself. Somebody asked if they'd broken anything, and I said they hadn't. They just tipped over a piece of pottery on the shelf. Hello. I know it was not you. It was Tux. There he is. Isn't it nap time yet? You wonder if it's a full moon. Who knows? Oh, last night was a full moon. Oh, buddy. That wasn't very nice, was it? Hey. Come here. Come on. That was rude when you were trying to get a drink, wasn't it? So Nightwing was balancing on a couple of tiles on the edge of my wheel, and he overbalanced, and everybody went down. Stay there. Gravity is hard, yes. There we go. I knew it was coming. Hello. Monswin just laughing her butt off. Oh, yeah. Oh, I know it's funny. And they're cute. They are. Wild Zen, you thought, oh, yeah, gravity is hard. You thought gravity sucked. Ooh. Ooh, Lassa, that sounds good. A skillet cookie. Just make yourself comfortable, buddy. What you doing? You know what? I got my hair cut and I put it up to the point that Tux can't play with it. That's right. Because Tux likes to play with my hair. Mm-hmm. He's so trusting. He's not even holding on very hard. He's just laying there. Uh-oh. Mama Cat's calling. Hmm. Here. You gonna go see what she wants? Hmm. Here you go. Wow, Wildzen. That's amazing. Congratulations. You've done the anti-inflammatory low carb diet for 6 weeks now, and your husband has lost like 17 pounds. You've lost 4. Oh no. It's finally nap time. I've actually been doing the trying the no sugar, just trying to drop sugar, and for the most part, I've done okay. Had some chocolate and ice cream on my birthday, but I think I can be forgiven for that. But I've noticed a big difference in the what I want. Like I haven't had a carbonated or sugary drink in about a week, and like I got one the other day just because it was my birthday and I could, and I didn't want it. Like I could barely drink it because it was so thick and sweet. I just didn't like it. So I am starting to notice a difference. Men definitely seem to lose weight faster than women. I'll notice that when me and Daniel are doing the same diet. He will lose a lot more weight than me, but then he is also bigger than me, so. Yeah, first you lose water, then fat, but fat gets converted to muscles, and that's more heavy, yeah. That's why it seems you won't lose weight. Lassa, congrats. You're down 65 pounds. Wow. That is amazing. So Wild Zen, which one did you pick? Carbs or sugar? I mean, technically sugar is a carb, but I understand, like, I've just quit eating processed sugar. I'm still eating fruits and veggies and stuff. But I've cut out sugary drinks and baked goods and stuff like that. You picked carbs, not sugar. Yeah, that's honestly that's what I would have done, and that's why I'm trying the no sugar diet, just because that's always been my weakness. Like I can give up carbs, I can give up meat, I can do portion control as long as I can have something sweet. So I thought I'd finally try this and see what it does for me. You have 1 or 2 cups of coffee with a teaspoon of coconut sugar and 1 Dr. Pepper a day. Is that what that is? DP? You're having a hard time with pasta and bread because you miss pasta so much, yeah. Manny, what's the matter with you? Yeah, last I said you're on the reduced carb, portion controlled calorie counting plan. It's a pain having to put every recipe into the calorie thing and figure out portions, but it's working, yeah. It makes you much more aware of what you actually eat. Come on. Come on, Minnie. Come on. Hey. Minnie doesn't come up here very often, but this is Mama Cat. Hmm. Are you gonna go kick them off the pillow? Oh, come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. She's purring. She's not as needy as she was when she was pregnant, but she still likes her cuddles every once in a while. Really, you two? You gonna betray me as well? Well, figure it out yourself then. Minnie isn't as lovey-dovey now. No, she's not. She still wants pets, but not like she was. Kibo looks jealous. Oh no, we've got got Minnie's kittens here. And then Minnie, who's perched above me. That can't be comfortable. It just cannot. It's like, I don't think I would ever get a cat tower for the studio because it would just give them too many launching areas to, you know, attack each other from and to break pots. But Minnie is a climber. Maybe I could put one in the front window. Now, over here on the pillow, it is Kiba's pillow, but it's Kiba's, not Kiba's, but it's Minnie's two kittens. Yeah, all those prego hormones. And she was probably scared too, you know, feeling odd. I don't know what's gotten into her. Aiden, hey, yeah, good evening. Say this is the first time you've seen any of my streams. Well, welcome to the studio. Do I usually make pottery during streams? Yes. So this is mostly what I do. So I make pottery and I do all different stages of the process. So right now I'm throwing. These are actually going to be mugs. These are my 20-ounce mugs. I'll also make a smaller 10-ounce version. And so I stream the throwing, some of the assembling, and the glazing. And then, like we did this morning, the kiln opening, so you can see something made from start to finish. Hey, Stealth Muffin. Good evening. How many we got now? Well, I can say how many I've made, because if all the ones that the kitten squished turn out okay, then that is, I made 24, so 31. Aiden, thank you for the follow, and welcome to the studio. See, they run around like crazy, and then they pass out. They have 2 switches, on and off, no medium. Let's see. Perfect. As measured by my super duper handy dandy high tech measuring stick. That's how I keep things around the same size. I start off by measuring each of the pieces of clay into 1 pound increments for mugs, or for the 20-ounce mugs. Then I use my measuring stick to make sure they're all the same height. Their medium is when I'm in my knee. It only lasts a few moments. Yeah. When they are fired, do they lose weight, or are they still about 1 pound? Well, through the firing process, they do lose water weight and they do shrink. But then when I add the glaze to them, that adds a little bit more weight. So a good rule of thumb is whatever the beginning weight is, that's about what it's going to weigh in the end. So I'm going to add a few more ounces here. I'm going to add the handles and whatever the medallion, however many they need, 1 or 2. So the end weight is like 1 pound and 3 ounces is what they weigh for shipping. So if it starts out at 1 pound, it's going to end up being about 1 pound. If it starts out at around 5 pounds, it's going to be around 5 pounds when it's done. And all the pieces, they're going to shrink about 1/4 of an inch. Because, I mean, these are still pretty good sized mugs, but they're not quite as big as they are right now. We've got our first claytality of the evening. Let's try this again. Oh no, I guess that bot's not turned on. Yeah, I don't think either way you spell it, I think we don't have the bot turned on. What if you are the claytalities in here? Ha ha ha. Now I don't even know how to spell it. I don't know how to spell my own made up word. Clay, C-L-A-Y-T-A-L-I-T-Y. Is that how you spelled it? Yeah, I'm not sure there's an E in there. Uh-oh, Mama Cat's here. Is there room on the purple pillow for all of them? Well, guess there's not enough room over there for everybody. Midnight Wolf, hey, good evening. Oh, you were missing an E in there. Gotcha. I see now. you don't hear any music. Is there supposed to be? Yes. But actually, I haven't seen it updating in a little bit. No, there it goes. It's supposed to be playing. Is that any better? Hamster turned it up a little bit. There you go. It said it was really quiet. Okay. This piece of clay is very tough. I don't know if it was just at the top of the bag when it was left open or something. I don't know. This one's really hard, so this one may not make it, but I'm going to try it anyway. It's already feeling wobbly. There we go, not bad. Oh, Midnight Wolf, they opened up a little family-owned library in your town. You're so happy, yeah. So a library is in like it's free to get into, or is it like a paid library? A family-owned library. Does it have a certain theme? Oh, wow. The closest library is 30 minutes away and you have to pay $50 for a one-year library card? Wow. Is that like normal now? The little one, you just donate a book to get a lifetime card. Nice. Your city library, Monswain, is free to visit for all, but when you borrow books, you have to pay a cheap yearly rent. Gotcha. Midnight Wolf, where are you located? Yeah, Colleen, you say it's amazing the loss at libraries. You have a friend who is a librarian, and so many people just never return the books. So you get why some places charge, yeah. Yeah, and that's why you pay library fees as far as like late fees. Usually, if people don't return the books, you get charged the price of the book. If you ever want to come back, I know if people just leave with a book and then they've got it and they're never going to come back, then that's one thing. Oh, that's in Tennessee. Gotcha. It's probably, it's really not a bad idea for libraries to charge a fee for a library card, like Colleen says, especially with the loss, because I know they don't get that much funding. I mean, I pay what, $12 to $15 a month for Audible, so a year, $50 for a year is not bad. But for somebody like me, I would get the use out of that because I love to read. I read all kinds of books. But for like I can see, okay, a family with a kid who needs to do a book report, I can see how that can get aggravating. Yeah, it's hard for a lot of people to drive that far, yeah. Yeah, if you gotta drive like an hour just to go to the library, that's hard. Yeah, Midnight Wolf, yeah, you're a giant book nerd, so you're really happy, yeah. So Midnight Wolf, what types of books do you like to read? I was talking earlier about I had just seen the trailer for the Deborah Harkness books, the All Souls trilogy that's being made into a TV series. I saw the first trailer for it and I really liked it. I read mostly sci-fi and fantasy, though occasionally I'll get on a mystery book kick. You like reading young adult stuff and sci-fi and fantasy, yeah. Yeah, like, oh, there's several books that I've read that I didn't realize they were young adult until after I had, gotten through a series or something, because they just didn't seem altogether young adult. I think sometimes the only thing that qualifies something as a young adult novel is the lack of explicit scenes in the book, which is fine. It's like I'm a huge fan of Mercedes Lackey's books, and I think those were the very first, some of her books were the very first fantasy books I ever read. I probably did read them when I was a young adult, but they stand the test of time. Like some things you go back and read, and you're like, this is not that great now that I'm older, but her books are really good. She's a very good storyteller. Expelador, hey, good evening. Is it hard to learn pottery? Initially, no. Like, it does take a lot of practice, but you can grasp the basics of it in a couple of classes. It just takes a lot of practice, and what I say is it takes years of practice to be able to make what you want to make when you want to make it. Like, you can take a class and you can make bowls and cylinders and cups or whatever, make, random things, but to be able to say, I want to make something this size and, out of this much clay, and then to repeat it over and over again, that's what takes a ton of practice. But like any other skill, I keep saying it takes practice, but that's, learning anything takes practice. Lady Gemma said you're a nonfiction reader, but you used to love young adult sci-fi stuff by Christopher Pike. He wrote in the late 80s and 90s. I'll have to look him up. You know what? Kiba is outside and probably should see if he wants in by now. He was outside surveying his domain. Oh, Moon Reaper, Christopher Pike was your favorite too. Yeah, Midnight Wolf, you have two older cousins who read a lot of the same stuff as you, so you swap and recommend books to each other. That's awesome. Me and Hamster read a lot of the same books, but sometimes our tastes are different. Uh-oh. So what I'm doing with this metal rib is I'm compressing that area so I can stretch this out a little bit more. There we go. Let's trim a little bit of this off. See if it does any good. Yeah, when I was little, let's see, one of the first books that got me into reading was The Boxcar Children. And I read all of those I could get my hands on. And then as I got older, I got into the R.L. Stein Fear Street. I never was a fan of Goosebumps, but I read the Fear Street novels. Oh yeah, well Zane, you just got finished reading The Last Herald Mage for about the 500th time, yes. And she's still writing those. There's a lot I've got to catch up on. But not all of them are on audiobook, which is sad. The first, you hated reading when you were a kid. The first book series you ever liked was Judy B. Jones. I remember the name of those. Oh yeah, I remember Sweet Valley High, Babysitter's Club, and Christopher Pike. I remember Sweet Valley High and Babysitter's Club. I don't remember enjoying them, but I remember reading some of them because I specifically remember like one Christmas I asked for books. I specifically asked for Boxcar Children books, and it was way before the internet, so nobody could find any Boxcar Children books in rural Tennessee. So they bought me whatever they could find. So I ended up with a lot of the Sweet Valley High and Babysitter's Club and whatever else, they could find at the time. Colleen, you grew up reading Nancy Drew. I was reading an article about the Nancy Drew books, how that like some of the original books, how they changed them over the years. Like with each printing, they may change the story a little bit. So people that read the books as they were growing up, if they go back to revisit them, it might be a completely different story. So I would imagine that some of the original Nancy Drew were very sought after. You have all the original books you had when you were a kid? It was a thing going around on Facebook a couple weeks ago. It was name a fictional character that was a fictional character's death that was the most traumatizing to you. And talking about books, and some of the first books I read when I really got interested in reading, my father gave me a stack of books that he thought, that he read when he was a kid that he wanted me to read, and one of them was Old Yeller. And so I think that's what Daniel had put as the most traumatized fictional death, that impacted him the most. So what would you say? I know some of you probably commented on that thread that he posted. What is the fictional book character, let's say, that death that traumatized you the most? Oh no, you read it in school. You read Old Yeller in the 5th grade. Oh no. Traumatized children. Where the red fern grows. I think we watched that at school. I don't know if I read it. It was very similar. Oh, Lady Gemma said The Man in the High Castle has been the only fiction book you've read as an adult. That's how anti-fiction you are. You know what? I didn't know that was a book. I'm going to read that now because Daniel liked the series, or the first season that he saw. White Fang. Let's see, 5th and 6th grade. Let's see, at some point I remember reading The Giver, and it was another one. I really do not know the name of the book, but it was like a kid got survived a plane crash and had to live on his own in a deserted island or whatever, and it talked about all the different things he had to do, and then they finally rescued him. Oh yeah, when Jack the Bulldog died in Little House on the Prairie, but you were only 5 or 6. Lord of the Flies was pretty traumatic. That one I don't know. But one of the ones I said, like most traumatic fictional death, was Sansa's dog Lady in the Game of Thrones. That was the first death. It was, and that was like in chapter 3. Like when I started reading the books, I'd only heard about them. I didn't know what they were about. I just was like, okay, everybody's talking about this. I'll read the book. I got to that point and I had to stop. I had to stand back and say, okay, no, I can't handle this. If this is how it's going to be, I've got to have a different mindset when I go forward reading this book. I can't get attached to anybody. The Giver, that was your 6th grade summer reading book. You know what? Was that I never saw the movie. Was it any good? Like, I got kind of excited when I saw that they were making the movie, but then I saw that it was in color, and I thought that I don't know if it entirely was, but I thought that was wrong. Yeah, Game of Thrones was hard to get through. Island of the Blue Dolphins. I don't know. I've not heard of that one. Colleen, for a movie, you put on Hamster's Post Wilson from Castaway, yes, when he floats away and Hank goes nuts. Oh. Monswin said your first sci-fi books have been the novels from Robert A. Heinlein. I don't think I've heard of him. Yeah, Wild Zen, you told everybody when they started watching the show Game of Thrones, don't get attached to anybody. Mm-hmm. Oh, I loved it when the Red Wedding came around and everybody was posting videos of their friends' reaction, people who didn't know what was going to happen. The Dune series. I've only actually read the first one, Dune. I've not read the others. And that's been a while. Heinlein's books were written in a time when flying to space was a fantasy. Oh, wow. From the late 50s. You know what? I've never actually sat down and read, thinking of classic sci-fi and fantasy, I've never actually sat down and read any Jules Verne. Like, that might be something to look into for an audiobook. You threw the book across the room when the red wedding happened. Oh no. Yeah, The Hobbit and all of the Lord of the Rings books, yep. I want to say I had to read The Hobbit in school. Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time, yes. Now that's one that Hamster got me into. And that's also one of the first books that I started reading on audiobook. Harry Potter books, what's the one? The Golden Compass series. I remember reading those too. Expelliarmus, whoa, thank you so much for the sub. Expelliarmus just subbed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much for using your Twitch Prime sub on our channel. And we need to send you a coupon code because you have one more day if you choose to use it. June's coupon code is for $5 off anything on the website. So guys, don't forget you have until tomorrow night to use it. If you've been thinking about placing an order and you are a subscriber to our channel, you can get $5 off. So you basically get your sub back. Both Sides of Time. That's the His Dark Materials series, yes. The Golden Compass. Now, I remember reading A Wrinkle in Time, but when I watched the preview for the movie that Disney's making, like, I didn't recognize anything. So either they changed a lot of it or I need to go back and reread it. And it's been a while since I read it. Yeah, Expelliarmus. Yeah, someone else mentioned Dune. Colleen, yeah. Yes, I've read the first one. I've not read any of the others. So I need to go back and read those. I probably need to read the Dune over again. Colleen, H.G. Wells' The Time Machine was one of your favorites. What's another one? What's another old time one I read? It was A Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court. That one was interesting to read as one of the, one of the original time travel books. One of the first. Midnight Wolf, you've got to go. You might be back later. Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, listening to audiobooks, like I found a lot, and every once in a while I get onto an app called Playster, which you have to pay for it, but sometimes you can get really good deals on there. They have, a library. They don't have all the books, but they have a lot of books that I wouldn't want to just buy and that I can download and listen to. It's kind of like Netflix for audiobooks. And there's a hack, like it's gotten expensive. It was like, first it was like $10 a month, then it was $15. Now it's $30 a month for the audiobook. So I went to drop it. And then if you sign up for like your free month and then cancel it, they'll give you 3 months for 99 cents. So I've got Playster again. So I'll go and like search for books that I've been thinking about reading, or some that aren't very long that I wouldn't want to purchase. I save my Audible credits for the long books. The series you liked reading because it wasn't like his other books was the Dark Tower books from Stephen King. See, I tried those. I could not get into it. Maybe I need to give it another chance. Kind of like Sky when you leave, they make a better offer. Yeah, that. And other one that's done that to me has been the satellite radio. Like, that stuff near impossible to get rid of. They will call you and call you and call you. I think the first book of the Dark Tower drags a bit, but it sets the stage for the rest of the story. Gotcha. Another book series that I found out was a young adult series after the fact was Juliette Marillier, the Seven Waters trilogy. Was very good, very well done. That was like her first 3 books. Now she's got a lot of stuff in several series. The Bobbyverse books. Wild Zen, are you talking about the Dark Tower movie? So you thought they did a great job of keeping the feel of the story without trying to put the whole book in there. There we go. We have 42 pieces. I'm up late. Do I have a big order? Yes, I've got several orders, but I'm just working late tonight because I've got had a lot of stuff to throw and I had time to do it tonight, so. I actually enjoy working later into the evening because I don't have, I don't have to, usually people don't call me late at night because it's outside of business hours. Yeah, Monswin said your dad is addicted to audiobooks in his car. You constantly have to listen to them while you're driving, and it's very distracting. You never know what he's listening to. It mixes up after a while when you only drive 1 to 2 times a week, yeah. Yeah, no, listening to audiobooks in the car was always hard for me. They would put me to sleep in the car. Like, I can work all day long and listen to audiobooks and be fine. And especially when I'm doing some of the, like, my mindless tasks. Like, if I wasn't streaming, I would be listening to audiobooks while I'm throwing because I'm pretty much on autopilot. But it doesn't work when I'm driving for some reason. You found an Aussie writer on Kindle that you really love, Andrea K. Host. Her Touchstone series is amazing. I'll look her up. You love the tie-dye apron, by the way. Thank you. Yep, it's the only one I have now. My other one finally bit the dust. Actually, the kittens destroyed it. They kept playing with it so much, they ripped a bunch of holes in it, or they made the holes that were in it bigger. So it is not really working as an apron anymore. It's my original tie-dyed apron. I'd had it for 15 years. Survived everything but kittens. But I got it when I was in college because we didn't really have lockers in school, so we'd keep all of our tools and our apron and stuff in a little cubby hole. And people would steal things, and so they told you to paint, put your name on everything, or paint it some really horrible color that nobody would want to steal. And so I had my tie-dye apron, so nobody else would take it, or if somebody did take it, I would know who it was. And I painted like all of my tools in like hot pink. Yeah, while Zanya, Twitch, audiobooks, or podcasts while you play with yarn and fiber. Yep. Colleen, I was looking back at some of the comments. You say the Bobbyverse books. You think Hamster would really like them? They are punny in lots of places. Rico, hey, good evening. Rico, did you see the kiln opening this morning? This one I don't think is gonna make it. It doesn't want to. Oh, you saw the Instagram post. It looks good. Yes, I was very happy with how it turned out. Okay, that's almost, well, that's kind of wonky. That's very wonky. Let's see what that looks like. Much better. Well, Rico Loco, thank you so much for the resub. Because I know you've subbed before. Thank you so much. And thank you for using your Twitch Prime sub on our channel. Yeah, so if anybody saw the Kiln opening this morning, the red and black teapot is actually going to Rico Loco. It's pretty good. Oh, Wild Sand? Which one was your mug? Tell me. Because I don't remember. Did it have an alpaca on it? Jimmy, hey, you say I've got some amazing pieces on my Facebook page. Thank you. Oh yeah, Colleen, you came in just as the throwing started. Yeah, we had a lot of different stuff in there. We had trying to think of the name. The steamer pot was in there, the teapot, and then the salt pig, and then just a lot of individual orders for mugs. Welcome back, Knitter Girl. There were 4. One has an alpaca. Now, I don't know. I may not have gotten all of them then. So a question on my technique. You notice that I open up the clay quite wide and then pull it back when I pull the walls. Is there a reason for opening it so big up to begin with? Or have I just been doing it like that for a while and it seems to work? I think there's 2 reasons. One is because I make mostly mugs and yarn bowls. So with the yarn bowls that I make, I would open up the floor a lot wider because they have a wider base. And I think I get it, one reason I think I get in the habit of that, opening it up wider. And yeah, and I guess another reason is it's just habit. Like I guess opening it up wide, whether I mean to or not, that doesn't determine the width of the piece. I can open it up wider and then use that clay to still pull up the wall. So I think it's easier to open the base up a little bit wider than you need rather than not opening it up wide enough. Yeah, Wild Sand, the only thing I said is I don't, if the one that's in there is yours, it was a mini mug, a 10-ounce mug with the alpaca on it. If that one is yours, then I don't know if all of yours order made it into that first kiln. What's the matter, buddy? So shoes off, do you work in clay as well? Oh, you've done ceramics on and off for 11 years, but you've never had your own wheel. Gotcha. The kittens are awake again. Is it frozen everywhere? Because it is not frozen on my end. Yes, so that one is in there. And a Starry Night travel mug. I think both of those are in there, but if there's two more, I'll have to see what those were. In the next batch that I throw, I'll have to make some of the mini mugs, some of the 10-ounce mugs, because I've got some orders for those too. Rico, good. I'm glad you got to look at them. Yes, I'm very happy with them. Aiden, they've never knocked anything over and broken anything that's finished, but I mean, just a while ago, they climbed onto the shelf and squished a couple of things before I could get them off. I think I've managed to save the 3 things they squished, but still. Oh, the other one was the fire opal. Okay, yeah, no, those are not done. I don't have any just plain mugs ready. Now, do you want me to wait and ship them together, or do you want me to ship them separately? Since I've got you here to ask. No waiting. Then I will ship the 2 that are done on Monday. Well, if you like the instant gratification, then the pottery is not the best for you then. That's one thing. You have to have patience because everything is going to take at least 2 weeks of just time to be finished. That's right. He said neither is knitting. Yeah, yeah. No instant gratification with knitting. Yeah, I feel like with knitting though, like once you put the work in, it's done, right? I mean, you might have like some finishing stuff to do, but for me, like once I'll put all the work in, and then I can put it in the kiln, and it can all go to it can all go to waste. There's always that little bit of a risk factor. Or at any time, you know, I can trip and destroy everything. Destroy 2 months of work. Hey, Minnie. Space Cat, hey, good evening. Am I producing for myself or another company? No, this is for me. For my own company. So I am I'm trying to fill a lot of wholesale orders with these mugs. If the cats will allow it. They don't squish anything else. There he is. Do I have one major client? No, I have several. Like, I don't have one that just like controls everything. I have several small clients. And then we also go to retail shows throughout the year. My two big wholesale like rush times are Mother's Day and Christmas, of course. So I have a little bit of a rush in the spring, and then like I'm getting stuff together for the fall. Space Cat, they squished something earlier today. It's like I made some pieces earlier today, made 32 pieces. We went to eat supper, nothing's wrong, nothing happened, nothing's been bothered. As soon as I move the cart, they tackle it and want to play. One of the big bowls, yes. They jumped on one of the big 4-pound bowls, but I was able to mostly save it, I think. As I've got it here, I'll check on it before I leave. Because it had already started to dry out a little bit, so they didn't completely squish it beyond repair. Let's try this again. Had something fall on this piece and take a chunk out of the rim. There we go. Alright, so this one, actually I just made 50 pieces. This will be 51. I was going to stop at 50, but I'll do 51. And that's 50 pieces for this evening. I made 30 pieces earlier, 32 pieces earlier, so we'll call it 30 in case the kitten squish don't make it. Rico, I don't remember. I'll have to see if it's already done or if it's in the bisque. Late night mug throwing, yep. Yeah, Rico said, you're really happy to see the teapot turn out so well. Me too, because I don't make teapots all that often, which you know, so when I make them, like I put so much time into them and I'm always afraid they're gonna break. Like getting it to the kiln is always so stressful. Hello. I'm gonna start calling you Frosted Flake because you're always frosted with clay. It tastes good. I'm gonna set these aside. I'm actually gonna grab the nesting bowls that I made earlier and see if I can fit them together. I'm gonna see if they work together. Oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. Yeah, here we go. You got clay on your belly too. My goodness, cat. Oh no. You're gonna accept the cuddles. Gotta have a cat cuddle break. All right, fine. Gotta either sit there or go. There you go. I'll be right back. So here's the one they squished earlier. And I was able to smooth out the rim for the most part. Right here is the one that was really bad. So here's one of them. Have my wire tool, yes I do. So the bottoms of these are still kind of soft. I'm gonna go ahead and cut them off. Yeah, they have gotten so big from the little fluff balls they started as, yes. Yeah, and you were here like what, the week or two after they were born. There we go. So that's the big one. They fit just barely. They fit. Wow, that's a tight fit. I might have to change that next time. That's a super tight fit. All right. Let me go get the other middle one. Might as well just bring them all over here. See which one fits. Rico, you're gonna call it a night? Yeah, thanks for stopping by, and thank you again for the sub. All right. Oh wow, your rabbit dead licked your Iron Maiden band shirt, so now you have a shirt with holes on the back and some on the front. Wow. Just cutting these off of the tiles. So this one, see if this fits it any better. That actually, because it's taller, that actually does work a little bit better. Because they're not completely dry, I can also alter it a little bit, but what do you think? I don't know if that was a good nesting bowl being taller like that. But I don't know if the medium bowl will fit in there. Let's see. This one. That's a big difference. So I may have to redo the sizes on these. So those two work well. Yeah, Monswinge, yeah, you have to take care of what lays on the ground. Yeah, definitely, if she's going to eat everything. Yeah, that one actually fits there a little bit better. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. There we go. Those fit together. I'm not sure the other set's going to be that good. Yeah, that one is just too tall. But what I can do is make other sets to fit into some of these. Or I could just have a 3-piece set. That one works too. 3-piece and a 4-piece set. So I'll leave these together to dry out. So those were some that I threw this morning. And they've dried out enough that I could at least move them a little bit. But guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to head out now. It is 10:30 at night here. And I probably will come back and check on these in the morning. But tomorrow, I'm actually going to go to my own birthday party. So my birthday was Wednesday, but we're going to hang out with some friends tomorrow. So I don't know if I'll be streaming. If I do, it'll be tomorrow morning if we come in early and try to get some stuff done. But if nothing else, I will see you on Sunday. So thank you so much for watching. If I don't see you again, have a wonderful weekend. And take care. Wild Zan, do I keep control cards with how much clay and height, etc. for things. You know, I do have a list of things like how much clay I use for certain objects, but it does vary for some of the nesting bowls. I think if I hadn't made the rims so wavy that my measurements would have been better. Like if I just made them just plain bowls, there wouldn't have been as much variation. So. Monswinge, yeah, have a wonderful night. And thank you so much, everybody. Y'all have a good night and take care.